A man is facing prison for calling his ex-girlfriend 800 times in 48 hours. French lawmakers introduce a bill to regulate influencers, and a startup company makes a meatball out of mammoth meat. These are the weird stories for Thursday on Weird AF News, the only daily weird news podcast. Published, recorded, written, improvised, sweated out inside a closet in Los Angeles. I got it for you. I got it. I got the weird news. Let's do it. I got your fix. A man is facing prison after calling his ex over 800 times in 2 days. Love knows no bounds, but once it's over, you have to try to move on. Or if you are struggling, maybe place one last call just to see if things are salvageable. What you don't want to do is what this Maryland man did. Allegedly, he called his ex-girlfriend more than 800 times within a 48-hour time period, and now this man might be facing some prison time. And it wasn't just the 800 calls in 2 days. Along with that, he sent hundreds of text messages, too many to even mention here. This is according to the U.S. Department of Justice. This man's name is Derek Wayne Boera, age 44. He was indicted by a grand jury in the state of West Virginia where his ex lives. Oh, to top it all off, she's a girl from West Virginia. Really not even worth the 800 calls, to be honest with you. Have you been to West Virginia? Have you seen those people? Just kidding, guys. I love everyone. Along with that, this guy Derek used social media posts to attempt to embarrass her and interfere with her livelihood, according to the U.S. Attorney's Office. According to this U.S. Attorney William Elefeld? Dude, get a better name. William said, cyber stalking is a pervasive problem that we treat very seriously in West Virginia. Oh, really? That's funny because you just got electricity like last week, but cyber stalking in West Virginia. Sure, buddy. This guy says, I encourage those who are being intimidated online and who suffer substantial emotional distress as a result to file a police report so that wrongdoers may be investigated and held to account. Yeah, I agree with all of this. It's horrible. And our laws are just catching up to cyber stalking, just catching up to cyber crimes. People have been getting away with this for a long, long time, unfortunately. It says here, if convicted, Bowers could serve 5 years in prison. 5 years? Wow, they're really slapping him with a sentence here. This is significant. Perhaps they're trying to make a precedent here, because I've heard of people doing less time for actually physically striking an ex. So it says this indictment against Bowers comes just weeks after a 55-year-old British man was sentenced to 3 months in prison for stalking a BBC News presenter on Facebook. Now, I don't want to make light of this particular crime, and I apologize if I came off that way. This is a very serious situation. I'm merely making fun of some people in the story that deserve it. Cyber stalking and bullying online is a huge problem. I've covered love scams on this show before. You might recall a woman who was scammed by a man who claimed he was an astronaut and needed money to return to Earth. And they often target the elderly who don't know any better. This is a very serious situation, what's going on online. You have to protect yourself any way that you can, and it's nice to see that the police are taking it seriously and getting involved in cyber stalking and cyber crimes. And we're going to need to just beef that up as we move along. And I mean, eventually the AI is going to be cyber stalking all of us as well, so we're going to have to prepare for that and come up with a plan to take down the AI. You know, if you have a plan, call me, 646-450-2012. Tell me how to prepare. France introduces a new bill that would crack down on social media influencers. The lower chamber of the French parliament, not to be confused with the high chamber, man. They're called the National Assembly. They passed a bill that aims to introduce some requirements for social media influencers, such as what? Such as wearing clothing? It says here this is a preliminary vote, as the bill would then move on to the Senate, but they believe there's a high probability it will be adopted within a few weeks, as all of the deputies who were present at the National Assembly voted in favor of this bill. This all comes to the forefront after a famous French rapper named Booba. Never heard of Booba. I do enjoy French rap, though. That was my impression of a French rapper. Not very good. According to the French rapper Booba, there are a lot of scammers and influencers on social media networks. Many influencers are promoting scams because there's currently no negative consequences for getting caught promoting a scam. I think we're just sort of catching up to that in the U.S., where a lot of influencers that were promoting certain cryptocurrencies are now getting their comeuppance, it seems. So now we have the French government itself looking into this topic of scams, with the Ministry of Economy conducting a public consultation to better understand the stakes that are involved. The result is this bill, which first defines what a paid influencer is. They're saying it's someone who leverages their reputation to share content that promotes a product or a service in exchange for money or a benefit in kind. Influencers who meet these criteria will have to comply with these new rules that they have drafted. Now, a big change that is going to have a significant impact on influencer content is that influencers will have to disclose if they are using a filter or if their face and or body have been photoshopped. Well, they can use a filter, but they have to disclose that this is not really my face. I'm actually much uglier than this. I know I look hot right now, but that's because of Photoshop. Just letting you know. Wow, well, I guess that's a start. Might want to consider doing that on dating apps as well, because don't we all hate to be catfished? You show up and they don't look like the filtered photo. This bill lists also some things that an influencer is not allowed to do. In particular, influencers won't be able to promote any cosmetic surgery, any financial products, as a result of the crypto thing, I imagine. And they can't promote any services, including cryptocurrencies, and counterfeit products. In some cases, influencers can still promote products and services such as they did before, but they need to add an additional informational banner about the risks involved. The new restriction applies to betting and gambling services, as well as video games that have features that could be considered gambling or betting. If they are promoting a training program, they will have to name the training company behind it. Influencers will also have to be more transparent with drop shipping products. For instance, influencers can't promote products that don't meet the European certification requirements, as those products shouldn't be sold in Europe in the first place. It says when influencers accept a paid promotion, they will have to state clearly that it is a paid promotion. If they fail to meet these requirements, they will face up to 6 months in prison and a fine of 300,000 francs. Are they using francs? I don't know. There's always this little symbol next to the money. I have no idea what the hell it is. They want to do this so it's clear that influencers and media agencies will pay attention to these new restrictions that are putting forward. Well, I mean, this is very necessary, and I would love to see this adopted more on a worldwide scale, because many influencers are guilty of such scams. And I mean, at the very least, a lot of them are just trying to pick your pocket, but it would be helpful if you were to be aware that they're picking your pocket. There's a lot of people out there picking your pocket, and we're just not given a heads up. And a lot of people are easy targets for this because they're sometimes very, very young, sometimes very, very old, sometimes just not very developed in the brain area, you know. I just hope that they require them to make it, I mean, they say you have to make it highly visible that you're doing this and make it known, but, you know, you see commercials all the time, and then they just very briefly flash that little paragraph at the end. It's a little disclaimer at the end of the commercial. It's on there for like a second, and the font is so small that you can't read it anyways, and that's a way of covering their ass. And I mean, it's just like, I couldn't even read that, you know? So I have no idea what the hell's going on here. Oftentimes it's like there's side effects to some medication, and they just flash it on the screen really quickly, and you're like, I had no time to read that. But I would imagine this is just the first step to move toward this kind of regulation, so I like to see that, of course. As an influencer myself, you know, I don't know if you're aware, but I have like 8,200 followers. Oh yeah, Jonesy's doing it, man. Doing it in a closet of all places. Yay! Would you like to easily create and distribute a podcast everywhere, even earn money all in one place for free? Well, try Spotify for Podcasters. Record and edit on your phone or computer. You can send it to Spotify and everywhere podcasts are heard. They even have video podcasting options as well. Spotify for Podcasters allows you to earn money with ads and subscriptions. Best of all, it's free. Try it. Download Spotify for podcasters or go to spotify.com/podcasters to get started. And good luck with your podcast. Good luck with your life, man. Would you guys eat a mammoth meatball? A spicy mammoth meatball? Well, a startup company has made a mammoth meatball. It's the sound of science. Using science to make meat out of extinct species. How fascinating. Is this the future of our cuisine? The article begins by saying, throw another mammoth on the babby. An Australian company on Tuesday lifted the glass on a meatball they made. They made it out of lab-grown cultured meat using the genetic sequence from a mammoth, which is a long-extinct pachyderm, as you all know. Now, this is striking some public debate about high-tech, lab-grown cultured meat, as it should. I know a lot of people are against this. Let's learn a little bit about what this is. Cultivated meat, also called cultured or cell-based meat, is made from animal cells. Livestock doesn't need to be killed to produce it, which advocates say is better not just for the animals, but also for the environment. This company is using publicly available genetic information from the woolly mammoth. They've filled in the missing parts with genetic data from its closest living relative, which is an African elephant, and then inserted it all into a sheep cell. And given the right conditions in a lab, the cells multiply until there are enough to make a meatball. Oh, so fascinating. There's a photo of it. It looks delicious. It says here more than 100 companies around the world are working on cultivated meat products. Many of them are startups, such as this company called Vow. Experts say that if the technology is widely adopted, it could vastly reduce the environmental impact of global meat production in the future. Currently, billions of acres of land are used for agriculture worldwide. The article says, but don't expect this to land on your plate anytime soon. So far, only Singapore has approved cell-based meat for consumption. This company, Vow, is hoping to sell its first product in Singapore. It is a cultivated Japanese quail meat later this year. Okay, so this is the other meat they've generated in the laboratory. Japanese quail meat. Now, as far as the mammoth meatball is concerned, it's a one-off and has not been tasted, even by its creators. Why wouldn't you try this meatball? I'll try it. Looks pretty good. Although maybe I'll get judged if I try it. I'm sure PETA will send me a letter of cancellation if I ate that mammoth meatball. But as an Italian boy, I have a taste for meatballs. I'm the perfect tester for this mammoth meatball, I would say. It says here, Vow does not even plan to put this meatball into commercial production. Instead, it's just presenting this as a source of protein to get people talking about the future of lab-grown meat. We have a quote from the spokesman of Vow who says, well, we wanted to get people excited about the future of food being different to potentially what we had before. That there are things that are unique and better than the meats that we're necessarily eating right now. And we thought the mammoth would be a conversation starter to get people excited about this new future of meat. But also the woolly mammoth has been traditionally a symbol of loss. We know now that it died from climate change. And so what we wanted to do is see if we could create something that was a symbol of more exciting future. That's not only better for us, but also better for the planet as a whole. And then, of course, by cultivating beef, pork, chicken, and seafood, we can have the most impact in terms of reducing emissions from conventional animal agriculture and satisfying growing global demand for meat while meeting our climate targets. It says here, this jumbo meatball was on display in Amsterdam. And the size is somewhere between a softball and a volleyball. That's a big meatball. It was for show only and had been glazed to ensure it didn't get damaged on its journey from Sydney, Australia. And although no one has tried this meatball, the people that created it says it smells damn good. Well, I ask you, my listeners, would you try some lab-grown meat? Do you approve of lab-grown meat? Do you see it as a solution to some of the environmental situations that we have as a result of agricultural, animal farming, etc.? Call the show. You got my number. You got it. Yay! Hey, thanks for joining me for this episode of Weird AF News. I'm your host, Jonesy, and I appreciate your loyal listenership. That's a word, listenership. They took listener and combined it with ship. You would think that it would mean a listener that also knows how to sail, but no, it doesn't mean that at all. Stupid. Hey, so I'm going to publish some phone calls after this. They built up over a few days. I'm sorry, those of you who called me like 6 days ago, and I'm only publishing it now, but I was waiting for there to be like a few phone calls that had built up first. So we heard from some OGs like Jim and Michael and Hannah. Even got a call from Lily. She sends her love to everybody. So shout out to Lily, and we want to just give her some love and attention right now. You guys can always call the show and show me some love. It's 646-450-2012. I have an email. It's funnyjones@gmail.com, and that's where you want to send your Florida stories over the next 24 hours or so. Because tomorrow's Friday. I'm going to be doing a Florida Friday. You know, that's the episode that we do where it's only weird news from Florida, in case you're new to the show. Yeah, only weird news from Florida on Fridays. We have a good time with that. And so if you come across an article, please email it to me, or you can DM me at funnyjones on Twitter. So send over your Florida stories. I already have a bunch saved that I've found during the week, ready to go, but I'm always open for new ones. What else? I guess that's about it. Would you like to support the show? I don't know what you're into. Maybe you like it a lot. Maybe you're like, I just want to do something extra. I don't want to just be a listenership. I want to be a supportership. And if you do, then just go to my website, weirdafnews.com. It's pretty simple, man. And you can buy me a coffee. Yeah, buy me a coffee. You could do a one-time buy Jonesy a coffee situation. That's pretty cool. And then I take that money and buy drugs. Just kidding. No, not really, because caffeine is a drug, correct? It is a drug, technically. According to 9 out of 10 doctors say it's a drug. I don't know what the 10th doctor says. I think that 10th doctor has something wrong with them. They never agree with anything. They're like, 9 out of 10 doctors say you should brush with toothpaste. What's that 10th doctor saying? Brush with, I don't know, mud, bug intestines? What is he saying? Or she saying? Anyways, I'm high, as you can tell. So it's nice to be high. Where was I? Oh, yeah, I was telling you could support the show, but you don't have to. You don't have to support the show with money. You could support the show by telling your bunkmate. You could tell your bunkmate about me. Tell your shrink about me. That'd be pretty cool. Tell your therapist about me. What else? Tell your pimp. You got a pimp? Tell your pimp about me. I should be listened to by pimps. I think pimps would enjoy me. I think. Maybe not.
'Cause there's alligators everywhere and nobody cares. Nobody cares 'cause it's Florida. Good luck with your life, man.
Hey, Jonesy. So I was just listening this morning, and the whole castration ring, like, you always said he wanted to be like a Kenta. Oh my god, bro. You have to watch American Mary if you haven't seen it. Like, there's like this Betty Boop version of this chick, and there's one who's like, she's so obsessed with being a Barbie doll, and kind of the same thing. Like, it's wild. Yes. Latest, and good luck with your life, dude.
Hi, Jeff. This is Hannah from Chicago. I just wanted to comment on the plight of the woman in Calgary who is homeless. I know it wasn't a news story, but I think that it is terrible that she should be homeless, especially in Canada, because I thought that in Canada they would be more willing to provide people with housing. And I think that it's just really sad that she was evicted just because her pet weighs over 200 pounds. Like, no one should evict you just because you violated a weight limit for your pet. And also, I don't think that there should be a weight limit for a pet at all. I think that, you should have a pet. Your pet should weigh, I don't know how to say it, but yeah, there shouldn't be a limit, because this limit is just making people homeless in Canada who have pets. But yeah, that's just horrible, and I hope that someday she is able to find a home, and I'm glad that she was able to contact you and find your phone number. So I hope she has good luck with her life, and good luck with your life, man.
Hey, Jonesy, it's Mike calling from Iowa City on this last day of March 31st. And the weather's crazy here in Iowa. It's in the 40s, it's in the 70s, it's in the 50s, it's in the 60s. It's just all over the place. And we've had just crazy windstorms and rainstorms, lightning storms last night. Today there's severe weather warnings. They always say in Iowa, if you don't like the weather, just wait an hour. So it's going to be 71 degrees today. I just checked the temperature, and that's what it is right now. And tomorrow it's going to be back in the 40s again. We've got currently 12-mile-an-hour winds blowing from the south, and we're in the middle of some severe weather warnings. It's just crazy. It reminds me of a song from Journey called Winds of March. And since it's the last day, I'd like to ask everyone to take a listen to this song. You know, they say the month of March comes in like a lion and goes out like a lamb. Well, on this last day of March, here we are in Iowa with severe weather warnings. But if you take a listen to this song, maybe just go to Google and search it out, or go to YouTube and ask YouTube to play Journey Winds of March. You'll hear Steve Perry singing along with Journey, and you'll hear him sing some of his highest notes that he ever recorded with the band, or on any of his solo work for that matter. But it's just a beautiful song, and it's called Winds of March from Journey. Take a listen, and everyone enjoy Florida Fridays from Jonesy, and enjoy your weekend. And tomorrow will be April 1st, April Fool's Day, and that's no joke. So good luck with your life, man.
Oh, thank you.
Jones, you rock and roller. Well, hopefully you had a good gig in San Diego. Very happy. I'm very, very happy to hear you pimping out your locations. I think it's good that you do that. However, I am disappointed that you don't want to market the bumper sticker. I think that would be a good marketing for you. The bumper sticker could say, good luck with your life, and then could have your podcast, Weird AF News. I think it would be good if you did that, sell your stickers at the show, and it's not hard to lag them around in a briefcase and whatever. And maybe you can even advertise, hey, if you join the podcast that you have, be a member. I know you like your coffee, but if they join it, then they get a free bumper sticker. And it's just advertising you and building your podcast up even more. I think you have a lot of talent, Jonesy. You just need that little push. You need someone to give you that kick in the butt to get you motivated. Seems that you lack that sometimes. I'm not judging you. I'm just speaking my opinion. Your character that my perception tells me. I could be wrong. Hopefully you're doing good, man. I wish I was in Kelly. It's very windy here in Cleveland, and the thunderstorm just went through. So I'm very happy that no damage or anything. Look at the people in Arkansas. I guess they had a tornado there, which is crazy. Hopefully you're doing good. Hopefully all is well with you. I enjoyed your Florida Friday. You made me laugh, which is important. You have a very good talent. You just don't realize it. You can make people laugh, which is good. You need to pursue that and keep advertising your stuff. Get that bumper sticker. Sell it for $2, $3, $4. If somebody wants to buy it online, go ahead. You need to push that, man. Or if you have an election, I say play whatever comedian and it'll play. maybe you can do that. I know there's comedians and they allow swearing on all that. I don't listen to a lot of them, but I do listen occasionally. They repeat a lot of the stuff I listen to. I know I listened to Red Fox. He was funny. He's kind of dirty. And Louis Anderson, I got a big kick